Chapter 136, Baihui 3. Leave it behind for future generations, relinquish your desires and ascend. Those who do not adhere will face calamity. I recall the contents of the steel I had seen on Ascension Path. The upper part that was torn off and couldn't be seen. Clearly, given the edges on this steel, this must be the upper part of that steel. I haven't made the connection before as it seemed unrelated to Yuan Li. Thinking about it, back then, I saw the stone tablet inscribed with golden divine heavenly thunder near the Black Castle. I never imagined, this guy is related to the golden divine heavenly thunder sect. Of course, the details will have to wait. I'll have to subdue him first and see. As Yuan Li vomits blood, I charge right in front of him. Kuguguging, my formless sword, swung at tremendous speed, clashes against his defenses. As long as the castle isn't completely turned to dust, it seems he can still exert the power of the nascent soul within it. But the situation is different from my last life. Thud, I kick Yuan Li squarely. He looks to erect a shield, but my formless sword permeates right through, kicking him in the stomach. Puhek, he spits out a mouthful of blood. And then, having been kicked by my formless sword, he is blown away, flying out of the punctured Black Castle. Kwang, once outside the castle's domain, his cultivation falls to the level of a mere core formation great perfection. You bastard. Grinding his teeth, Yuan Li pulls out 7 scrolls from his storage artifact. He opens the scrolls, while summoning 2 blood cloud ghost kings. 7 demon souls also emerge. But, in the name of Prince Seo Ran. Seo Ran's voice echoes across the desert. Children of the sea, kneel before the bloodline of the Sea Dragon King. Zing. Seo Ran's command becomes an order, binding the demon souls. The dragon demon soul immediately prostrates itself. The other demon souls, initially resisting Seo Ran's command, also reluctantly knelt down. I can't hold demon souls above core formation for long. Seo Ran urgently shouts, and I nod. Kya, Gua. Ahead, 2 ghost kings scream, each wielding a scythe. But, from behind, another booming voice is heard. Under the name of the Nether crossing ship. Then, all ghosts shall bow before the boat that crosses the river of the Netherworld. Kugugugugu. From the Nether crossing ship behind me, a strong suction force targeting ghosts manifests. Gua, Kya. The 2 ghost kings scream, trying their best to resist being sucked into the Nether crossing ship and planting their scythes into the desert to hold their ground. In an instant, 3 of Yuan Li major forces are neutralized. Seo Ran and Song Jin are a perfect match against Yuan Li. I realized this in my past life when I saw Seo Ran subdue Yuan Li using the summoning wind, true blood transformation, but in this life, their compatibility is even more apparent. Of course, if Yuan Li could properly recall his ghost kings and supply the energy of a nascent soul to his demon souls and ghost kings, even Seo Ran and Song Jin would find it hard to neutralize Yuan Li so easily. But once driven out of the Black Castle, he became much easier to handle. Step, I draw my formless sword and walk towards him. Kura, damn you think you can defeat me so easily. Boong. Around him, bone dagger Dharma treasures, a spear Dharma treasure, and a crystal skull staff float up. Above him, the 5 elements blood curse banners emerge. Cherararik, the 5 elements blood curse banners fly towards my head. But I let the banners hit me. Kook, with a slight sting, the 5 elements blood curse banners are absorbed into the 5 elements blood curse banner located in my upper dantian. What? Yuan Li trembles in dismay. Step, I walk slowly towards Yuan Li. That reaction, you also have the 5 elements blood curse banner, alright then. 17 bone dagger Dharma treasures spin. I swing my formless sword. The link that connects the Dharma treasures to Yuan Li severs. The Dharma treasures fall to the ground. Eek. A ghost king emerges from the blood-colored spear, grabbing it. Immediately upon emerging, the ghost king, resisting the suction of the Nether crossing ship, desperately plants the spear into the ground. Eventually, all Yuan Li has left is the crystal skull staff. Krrrgh. Yuan Li begins casting a spell with a murmuring voice. Kwajwajwajwaj. From the staff, blood trees sprout in the desert, and a sea of blood covers the surroundings. Clouds of blood erupt from the blood sea, enveloping him. Instantly, the area transforms into his domain. Blood-red ghosts rush towards me. From the blood clouds, numerous skulls fall like rain on top of me. Blood from the sea surges, turning into arrows of blood shooting at me. The whole area is dyed in blood. And then, I swing my sword. Kwang, with a single slash. That slash sweeps away all the miscellaneous spells. Even after that, the slash does not lose momentum, changing its trajectory and extending in all directions like thorny vines. Yuan Li resists with numerous spells, but the slash permeates through the stronger parts and cuts through the weaker ones, nullifying them all. Finally, quack, Yuan Li's body is swept up by the storm of colorless trajectories and turns into a bloody mess. Of course, Chururuk, as he absorbs the blood fog, his flesh begins to wriggle and regenerate. But the regeneration takes too long. It takes 2 full breaths. In 2 breaths, I can swing my formless sword hundreds of times. Quang, 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 all the miscellaneous things in front of me are swept away, and I quickly approach Yuan Li, who is regenerating, and kick him. Zhejiang, as he's regenerating, he is again blown far away into the desert. Churururuk, like a cockroach boasting its vitality, he regenerates even while being blown away. But in no time, I am already above him. I bend my legs, then extend them, stomping down on Yuan Li with both feet. Kook, Yuan Li's body, struck by my feet, splits in 2 and falls below. Chalak charalik, from his severed body, fish made of blood appear and fly at me. Boong boong, boong, boong. My formless sword rotates around me. In a state of unified offense and defense, I ground all the approaching fish and again plummet down towards him. Chulpik, his upper body, split in 2, explodes into a bloody mess. He again regenerates his upper body from his lower half. Wung, I feel the air burst behind me. Having turned Yuan Li's upper body into a blood mist, I approach his regenerating lower half and raise my hand. Quang, I slam my hand down. Kugugugugu, as Yuan Li's body tries to regenerate, a chasm forms beneath him, and he is split in half. Keep regenerating, you cockroach. Churik churururuk, the halved body begins to reattach itself. Worurik, his blood turns into blood fire and envelops me. But with my formless sword flowing through my entire body, I break through the blood fire and reach out. Quack, my hand grasps Yuan Li's head. I'll kill you until you die. With that, I grab his head and slam it into the desert floor. Tuguang, his upper body again vanishes along with sword scars. By now, Yuan Li's regeneration has visibly slowed. Shikshiririk, I watch Yuan Li, wriggling and regenerating his upper body, and raise my foot. Wait a moment, Quang, in my past life, I killed him too easily, watching out for the Mad Lord and Co Whale. It was fortunate that I killed him quickly. The Mad Lord was slightly outmatched among the many heavenly being cultivators. If I dragged it out like this back then, Co Whale might have come in person. Why, Pong, after blowing up his face again. Whenever he tries to regenerate properly, I relentlessly attack him. Intermittent spells flying towards me are so weak that I can fend them off with my formless sword-imbued body, and even those are getting weaker. And then, Quang, when I blew up his face once more. Seeing that it takes him so long to even regenerate somewhat, I step on his stomach and finally stop attacking. It's a little refreshing. Kirk krghaarg. I feel a little sorry about this. But you see, I had quite a bit pent up. Cough, cough. Now that your regeneration seems to have slowed down quite a bit, if I crush your golden core now, you'll die, won't you? Krura, gasping for breath, Yuan Li looks up at me and asks. Why, just why are you doing this to me? Are you, a nascent soul cultivator? Think of it that way. In fact, I could have crushed your golden core and severed your soul right away, but I wanted to hit you a bit. Thank you, for sparing me. I look down at him with a slight smile. I never said I'd spare you, though. Please spare me. I won't make you regret it. How so? There is a lot of wealth in my castle. If I kill you, all of that becomes mine anyway, doesn't it? I can also teach you the devilish arts I have mastered. I'm not interested in devilish arts. What do you want then? I know a lot. If you have any questions, please just ask. I grab his hair. Now you seem ready to talk. Step by step, I drag him toward the nether crossing ship. Thump, I place Yuan Li on the deck of the nether crossing ship. You are now my slave. You cannot defy my orders, and if I choose to kill you, you must submit without resistance. Understand? Yes. If you spare my life right now. Swear it on the nether crossing ship. .. exclamation mark. I can feel Yuan Li's intent flare up in anger and fear. You didn't swear sincerely. I guess I should kill you right now. I swear on the nether crossing ship. I will follow your commands. Eventually, Yuan Li swears a ghostly oath on the Nether crossing ship. Now, if he breaks his oath, his soul will be instantly sucked into the Nether crossing ship. I command him, wait here for now, it's time to check the contents of the steel. I jumped down and read the upper part of the steel that's been intriguing me. What exactly does it say? The upper part of the steel is a bit longer and contains much more content than the lower part. The content of the steel is as follows. A warning to future generations. All immortal treasures in the world are ultimately connected to true immortals and the force of attraction. For those who are not yet prepared and are connected to true immortals, calamity will inevitably come. One of the few advantages of this grotesque and bizarre world is that due to its ominous nature, most true immortals find it difficult to read and locate heavenly fate. Therefore, descendants, if you happen to obtain an immortal treasure, or something of the immortal realm, leave it in this world. Do not underestimate the desires and powers of those who have reached the great boundary. Those who possess an immortal treasure and ascend will inevitably be noticed by true immortals. No matter where they ascend to. Especially my descendants. Growing up in the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, if you happen to possess the Heavenly Lightning Banner, heed my warning, and the content ends there. I connect this content of the steel in ascension path. Leave it behind for future generations, relinquish your desires, and ascend. Those who do not adhere will face calamity. It's not just encouragement to let go of desires. It's a much more specific warning than I expected. I think of the three heavenly beings, each hoarding their sect's treasures, and the Sea Dragon King who left considerable treasures in the Sea Dragon Palace. The Sea Dragon King knew this warning. And, the warning was intended for the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. But the current generation of the sect, didn't they take the Heavenly Lightning Banner as is? The Nether crossing ship of Black Ghost Valley is a counterfeit of an immortal treasure. The blue sky armor of Azure Tiger Saint is an exceptional Dharma treasure beyond ordinary ones. But the Heavenly Lightning Banner is a rumored immortal treasure of Yongsu Jin. Jaeon Myung-hoon, this guy. I can't help but worry for him. I have been most worried about Deputy O and Team Leader Kim, who were captured by Seo Whale and Mad Lord. But unexpectedly, the most concerning might be Jaeon Myung-hoon, who could be entangled with a great boundary existence right now. Crackle, crackle, I look at the steel floating in front of me, sparking with lightning. Yuan Li quietly came to stand beside me. What's your relationship with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect? What is this black castle? This castle, 40,000 years ago, was in Ascension Path. It was originally a shrine dedicated to golden deity Yongsu Jin. I am a descendant of the clan that managed the shrine. The torn-off parts of the castle. I remember the remnants of the stone structure in Ascension Path, which seemed to have something ripped off from it. That was another part of this castle. So, you have no connection with the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. After the shrine was torn from Ascension Path and flown to the desert during the war 40,000 years ago, my clan was forgotten in the memories of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I see. I continue to question him. What was your original purpose? After all the heavenly being cultivators ascended, my goal was to rule the entire continent, harnessing the resources to master devilish arts to an extreme degree. Then, with the blessing of the serving command seal, I planned to ascend to an upper realm called the Blood Yin realm, not the one connected to the Ascension Gate. The Blood Yin realm, yes. Nowadays, thanks to Yongsu Jin's Ascension Gate, everyone ascends through the gate. However, 120,000 years ago, depending on the cultivation method practiced, the upper realm one ascended to differed. The upper realm connected to the Ascension Gate isn't suitable for practicing devilish arts. Though it's hundreds of times better than this world, it's still not optimized for devilish arts. Hence, I was planning a more traditional ascension through the serving command seal. Knowing about the Blood Yin realm, it seems you have information about the upper realms. Tell me about it. Yuan Li cautiously begins his story. There are currently 6 known upper realms: Blood Yin, True Devil, Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, Purple Gold, and Bright Cold. I don't have information about Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, and Purple Gold, but the Bright Cold and True Devil realms are well known. The Bright Cold realm is currently connected to the Ascension Gate. The True Devil realm is adjacent to the Bright Cold realm and is at war with it. His explanation continues. Seo Ran also joins in, listening carefully, and Song Jin evaluates Yuan Li's story from above the Nether crossing ship. In the times before the Ascension Gate, if one practiced ordinary immortal or righteous cultivation methods, they would ascend to the Bright Cold realm. Practicing devilish arts led to the true devil realm. Ascending to the true devil realm allows one to receive the true devil chi, enabling a transformation into the devil race. What about the blood yin realm then? The blood yin realm was originally part of the true devil realm but separated due to the overwhelming evil, yin, and turbid energy. Ascending there instead of the true devil realm allows absorption of the realm's power, potentially becoming a far more exalted being than the devils of the true devil realm. In essence, Yuan Li's plan was to commit a massacre across the entire continent, gather extreme devilish energy, and ascend to a more exceptional realm suited for him. Then, what is Xiao Wei'ol planning to achieve through such a person? Did he also desire to go to the blood yin realm? No, he has too many schemes laid out in this world. Xiao Wei'ol's objective isn't an upper realm, but specifically this world. I can't deduce Xiao Wei'ol's purpose from just listening to Yuan Li's explanation. Did you hear anything from Xiao Wei'ol? From the Sea Dragon King? No, not from him directly, but I did steal one of his cultivation methods and a drop of his blood. If you want it, I can give it to you. No need. This guy doesn't even realize he is being used by the Sea Dragon King. So, this guy's goal and the Sea Dragon King's goal coincides. Is the massacre he was planning to commit for the Blood Yin realm somehow what the Sea Dragon King wants? Right. I remember there's one more thing to obtain from this bastard. If you wanted the serving command seal's blessing for your ascension, you must have wanted the seal, correct? Yes, that is correct. Then, you must also have the method to break down all the floors of serving command palace. Yes, I have analyzed the energy flowing through the layers of serving command palace and prepared a formation to break down all of its floors. If you want it, I'll give it to you. Yuan Li takes out red flag Dharma treasures from his storage artifact, hands them to me, and explains how to use them. Similar to the formation Cheongman Ryong and I created, it's a formation specifically for serving command palace. Alright, and I asked Yuan Li a few more questions. Then, I learned the location of his treasure vault and even where he hid his blood spirits. After following him around the inside of the Black Castle, I came across what he had been hiding, just as I expected. This is. I gaze at a large blood-red jar. The jar is sealed with a pristine white cloth, and although its color is red, it doesn't emit the foul stench of blood like Yuan Li's other items. Instead, a fragrant scent wafts from within. What's inside this? Inside is my blood body. What is this blood body made of? Among blood bodies, the basic blood body itself is cultivated from my blood in a spiritual fluid. Later, if I wish to add special functions, I dissolve collected materials into the jar, slowly synthesizing them with the blood body. Collected materials? Yes, solutions made of impressive enemies' corpses dissolved in blood. How many materials have you dissolved in this blood body? Yuan Li's subsequent revelation surprises me. Currently, the blood body is purely accumulating spiritual power and practicing devilish arts with unadulterated devilish energy, so nothing has been synthesized yet. Originally, I planned to find my blood spirits, regain cultivation, and slowly synthesize it over the next 200 years. Understood. Hand over everything you know about the blood body. Yuan Li writes down everything about creating, manipulating, and synthesizing the blood body, and hands it to me. Thus, I successfully gathered everything I needed from Yuan Li. It seems I've heard everything worthwhile now. Yes, I have told you everything truthfully, without omission. Of course, my usefulness doesn't end here. There are also those whom I've made slaves by implanting the 5 elements blood curse banners in advance. Just then, Song Jin, who has been listening to Yuan Li's story, speaks up. Let me sift through his mind a bit. What? He appears to have told the truth, but why take the words of a devilish cultivator at face value? Surely the secrets he's been hiding are far greater than what he's blurted out so far. If I just delve a little into his upper dantian, I can make him spill everything, even the secrets he's unaware of. That sounds reasonable. I nod. Go ahead. Wait a moment. Stay still, Yuan Li. If you resist, I'll kill you. Are you planning to break your oath to the Nether crossing ship? Just wait, master. But Song Jin's hand reaches Yuan Li's head faster. Soon after, Yuan Li trembles violently and screams. Then, Song Jin speaks. He told most of it, but he had sealed some information in his mind. Roughly tearing through those seals revealed the following. The information Song Jin reveals includes methods for offering sacrifices to high-ranking entities in the Blood Yin realm and efficient rituals for blood sacrifices. Of course, it also includes Yuan Li's personal history and more. Not particularly useful information. Regardless, the fact that he dared to hide things from you is significant. Especially the method of making sacrifices to entities in the Blood Yin realm can be threatening, as it might allow one to break free from the Nether Crossing ship's oath. Is that so? It didn't really concern me. And, after rummaging through Yuan Li's mind for a while, Song Jin says. As for information about the Sea Dragon King, it seems he was lying about being unaware. Exclamation mark. Is there any information? Song Jin's eyes flare with ghostly fire. No. Song Jin clicks his tongue. The remnant of Sia Whale that appeared when I struck with my full power during my prime. It seems a seal was placed in this one's mind to automatically erase any information about Sia Whale upon activation. The seal was embedded in his upper dantian. He didn't even realize the information in his mind was being erased. It means there's no way to obtain information about Sia Whale. So that's it then. That's all. Sheik. Song Jin releases Yuan Li, who collapses, clutching his head. I look down at him. Alright, now that we've obtained all the useful information, die. Wait, I still have uses. Even after extracting all the information you've hidden. No, my influence, obtained through covert operations around the world, isn't just this. Is that so? The 3 clans of the West, the 4 tribes of the North, the 5 lords of the East are all under my control. Interesting. I raise my formless sword. Farewell. Why? No, please don't. I don't want to die. Master. You son of a bitch. Slice. My formless sword gleams as it cleanly severs Yuan Li's soul. Thus, Yuan Li, having spilled everything, perished. Don't worry. Next time, I won't torture you with false hope and will grant you a swift death. I gaze coldly at Yuan Li's lifeless body, murmuring to myself. Song Jin chuckles. Not caring about betrayal, I see. You never intended to spare him from the start. It's not betrayal. We were never on the same side to begin with. I simply cut down an enemy. I look at the jar said to contain Yuan Li's blood body. Whoosh. Opening the cloth that sealed the jar, I see a familiar beauty inside, neither male nor female. Using the devilish method I acquired from Yuan Li, I separate my consciousness and insert it into the blood body. Flash. The blood body accepts my consciousness, opening its eyes. It rises to its feet. The blood body is a naked, pale white figure, with jet black hair cascading down, covering its vital parts. Yuan Li was cultivating his original devilish arts in it. Apparently, not having grown as much as it would in 200 years, the blood body's cultivation is only at the later stages of core formation. It will be quite useful when investigating the Ascension Gate. After all, having a puppet that can go ahead and face death first is very useful. Moreover, thump, I manipulate the blood body, dressing it in Yuan Li's blood robes and equipping it with his Dharma treasures. Yuan Li's Dharma treasures are still functional, making it a truly useful puppet. The spirit stones and elixirs beneath the castle can be taken by Senior Song Jin. I don't particularly need such resources. Oh, really? Song Jin, delighted, plunders Yuan Li's treasure vault, loading up the Nether Crossing ship with spirit stones for recharging. While rummaging through Yuan Li's castle, I found something familiar among the items scattered in Yuan Li's vault. A jade norige. It belonged to Wulryong's great-grandson. He said he was devoured long ago. I decide to bring the norige to Wulryong. Shortly after, Song Jin and Seo Ran began to move the Nether Crossing ship again at my request. Kugugugugu. The Nether Crossing ship roamed the vast northern plains. We fed Yuan Li's blood spirits, hidden across the northern plains, one by one to the Nether Crossing ship, eradicating any chances of Yuan Li's resurrection. During this process, I spotted a familiar face among the bewildered mortals and cultivators watching the Nether Crossing ship. It was Wulryong. I descended from the Nether Crossing ship and approached him. Who are you? Wulryong looked at me with a wary expression. I walked up to him and handed him the norige. I briefly told Wulryong about his great-grandson's story. Yuan Li, who lived in the heaven-treading desert. The many he had devoured. And among them, the relic of Wulryong's great-grandson. Thank you. Wulryong exuded an indescribable mix of pain and slight relief. Really, thank you. I listened to Wulryong's words of gratitude for a while and joined him in a moment of silence for those sacrificed by Yuan Li. The nether crossing ship continued to move, visiting the areas near the heaven-treading desert, the north, the east, the southern seas, and the vicinity of the western countries. Then, from the prow of the nether crossing ship, I spot a familiar city. Kugugugugu. The nether crossing ship hovers above Cheon Sak City, targeting Yuan Li's last blood spirit hidden in its center. Keying. Yuan Li's blood spirit, concealed in the heart of Cheon Sak City, emits monstrous screams as it is devoured by the nether crossing ship. Phew, it's all over now. The chances of resurrection was less than a penny the moment his soul was severed, but to go this far. You're quite ruthless. It's not so much about guarding against Yuan Li's resurrection. I smile bitterly. I just wanted to completely erase his existence from this world. I gaze down at Cheon Sak City and the countless people living there. I hope for Yuan Li traces to not linger in their daily lives. Squeeze. I hold not the Norige given to Wulryong, but the jade Norigage that has become my Dharma treasure. Senior, I have someone to meet briefly. Could you please wait for me? All right. Holding the jade Norige, I land in front of a familiar workshop located in the center of Cheon Sak City. Thump, thump, my heart is racing. What should I say first? Creak. I open the door to the magic artifact store and step inside. Chapter 137, Bai Hui 4. The magic artifact shop is just as I remember it. It's still the same scene from that time. Clang, clang, clang. From inside the workshop, the sound of her crafting something can still be heard. I look around the magic artifact shop for a while, waiting for her. After a bit, the door of the workshop opens, and a person walks out. She is wearing the same pure white robe as in my memory. It's her. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. What brings you here? I am. Before I can even say anything. Whoosh. Suddenly, the jade-colored Norige hanging at my waist starts to tremble violently. At the same time, the Norige at her waist also starts to shake. A perfectly identical pair of magic artifacts. Of course, now there were not two, but three, thanks to the item that transcended time. But their function still seems to resonate. That is, her eyes widened. Are you, that person? She looks at me with wide eyes, holding her Norige. I can't speak. What should I say? What can I say? Just then, flash, the Norige in her hand shines brightly and suddenly turns into a bright brilliance. Exclamation mark quote. And then, the light flows into the Norige I am holding and merges into it. The one I brought is the Norige of Bukhyonghua, transcending time. In other words, it's hers from the future. As if the world does not allow two completely identical things to exist. Her Norige from the past is sucked into the one I am holding and absorbed. Fizzed. Soon after, the Norige in my hand, having absorbed Bukhyonghua's, shines even brighter. It appears to have become firmer and more mysterious than before. By overlapping the same artifacts, has the grade of the Dharma treasure risen? Lost in thought at the mysterious phenomenon, Hyonghua too looks astonished. So, when the same artifacts meet, this happens. I've learned something new. But that Norige was also my mother's heirloom. She seems somewhat sad. Her expression, gestures, actions, habits, breathing, heartbeat. All of it, is her. She is alive. By the way, since you've come all this way with the Norige, why don't you come in and have some tea? Then, I realize from her tone of voice. She is not the person I loved. Drip, drip. She is not the her who shared the same time with me, the same feelings, the same pain. You don't know me. Yes. I absent-mindedly wipe away my tears and speak. No, it's nothing. I have anticipated this. My disciples, my master, countless Kim Young-hoons. I have been preparing for this moment since the time I couldn't meet them. But now that it's actually happening, I can't help but feel bitterly cold. Seeing her stirred a tempest in my heart. Perhaps that's why. I hand her the Norige. Your mother's heirloom was absorbed, so I can't keep it. Please take it. Really, it's fine for me, but are you sure you can just give away the token of fate? Token of fate, huh? Do you know, the person your mother intended to connect you with is already married and dead. The real token is probably buried with him by Wulryong's hand in his grave. I heard you were to marry the person who brought the Norige. Feeling an indescribably complex emotion, I place the Norige in her hand. I'm sorry, but I will give you this Norige and leave. Yes, I look at her face and feel relieved. At the same time, sad looking into her eyes. My her is alive, but she doesn't know me. If only we had died at the same time that day, we could have been together in the afterlife. I already have someone I love. Holding back tears is easy. But holding back emotions is difficult. If someone else reads my intent, they might have cried with me. Thank you for keeping the token while waiting for fate. But I no longer need that token. Please take it and live freely. You don't have to live waiting anymore. Wait a moment. Barely suppressing my boiling emotions, I turn my back and leave the magic artifact shop. A brief but intense encounter. But I force myself to step away and turn my back. If I don't turn my back now, I might fall there and cling to her, weeping madly. I would never leave this place again. Swoosh. I leave the magic artifact shop and board the Nether crossing ship. Quickly, go anywhere. All right. Whirring. Ghostly mist envelops the Nether crossing ship, and we immediately move to another place. Who was that man? Bak Hyunghwa recalls the man who suddenly came to give her his token and left. She was bewildered. For years, the signal from the connected magic artifacts had not been detected, then suddenly signals started appearing from two places. She thought the magic artifact was broken, but when she checked it was fine, leaving her confused. And a few days ago, one of the two signals disappeared. Unbeknownst to her, that was when Wulryong had placed the Norige in a shrine to honor his great-grandson's spirit. Seeing the signal return to one, she felt a subtle trembling and tension. It seemed like he might come to find her at any time. Of course, the pair her mother had made for her could have died long ago, and a third person could have found the magic artifact. But she had been unable to sleep for several days. And today, him she had been fantasizing about had come. Surprisingly, he spoke the story of the token related to her Norige. She was shocked. Doesn't that mean he is the match her mother had mentioned? Realizing this, she felt a strange fluttering and trembling feeling. But contrary to her various expectations, he simply gave her his Norige and ran away, saying he already had someone he liked. Quote. In truth, she had somewhat anticipated this outcome. Her mother had wished for her to form a bond or marry the person with the Norige. But in reality, there was no guarantee the other party would honor the promise. Even if he didn't keep the promise. The fact that he crossed the desert to deliver the Norige to inform her of this means his character is respectable enough. He seemed like a good person. She sighed, thinking of the late-stage chi refiners who had been following her around lately. If only there were someone with even half the character of that man, I would have considered it. They were just immature late-stage chi refiners. Bak Hyunghwa looked outside for a moment and then at the Norige. Her Norige and his had merged, emitting a more mysterious aura. Her mother, lacking a spiritual root, had some skill in crafting magic artifacts. Perhaps due to her lineage from the Gongmyo Cheon Sax bloodline, her mother, who had the talent for making magic artifacts, did produce quite good quality ones. However, Bak Hyunghwa was well aware of her mother's skills. It has been a long time since she surpassed her mother with her own talents. And she thought about the Norige her mother had made. Two magic artifacts merging into one. And this strange, sacred aura. Did my mother really make this? It seems more like a Dharma treasure than a magic artifact. As she curiously examined the Norige. Drip. Quote. Hyunghwa suddenly wiped her eyes. Did something get in my eye? Thump, thump. Somehow, she felt a pain in her heart. And, looking at the Norige, she suddenly felt overwhelmed with emotion. Wait a moment. Drip, dripping. The tears wouldn't stop. Somehow, emotions she didn't even know she had surged up. Hyunghwa felt her heart trembling wildly as she thought of the man who had just left. Ah, no, she had to catch him. Somehow, she strongly felt this urge. Bang! With trembling legs, she stumbled and rushed towards the entrance of the magic artifact shop. But he was nowhere to be seen in the vicinity. Whoosh! In the clear desert sky, strangely, a black ghostly mist dispersed into the air. As if possessed, she boarded a flying magic artifact and rose into the sky to look around. He was nowhere to be found. With trembling hands holding the Norige, feeling the tears falling from her chin, she thought. Why? Her heart ached so much. What is this feeling? She bit her lip. I must find him. She had to ask him. What is this feeling? What has he done to her? Bak Hyunghwa wiped away the sudden tears and resolved. I will find him. No matter where he is, no matter where he goes. She will find him and ask. That was her decision. Who did you meet? Quote. Just an acquaintance. Is that so? Song Jin speaks to me. Why don't you try learning the ghostly arts of the Black Ghost Valley? The death energy accumulated in various parts of your soul, and the intense emotional fluctuations you just displayed. They seem highly compatible with the sect's techniques. I'll decline learning devilish arts. Oh, and I decided to receive something else from Song Jin. Do you have a method called Devil Legion Terracotta Scroll in the Black Ghost Valley? Yes, it exists. It's a cultivation method that no one practices, always sitting in the corner of our archives. How do you know about it? I heard about it before. Could you give me that manual? I would like to learn it. It's only at the level of chi building methods. A method that can resonate with my Dharma treasure. Now that I have given the Norige to Hyunghwa, I want to resonate more deeply with the colorless glass sword. Song Jin readily hands over the Devil Legion Terracotta Scroll, and after I memorize its essence, I speak to him. Thank you, and I have a few more requests. I move to another place with Song Jin's nether crossing ship. My emotions are boiling too fiercely. I wanted to do something quickly to calm them down. In the southeast of Biokra, the Byuk clan resides here. I arrive at the top of the Byuk clan's main house with the nether crossing ship. Maybe I should use the blood body here. I raise the blood body controlled by my consciousness, resembling Yuan Li. Whoosh. Through the blood body, I create a mask of devilish energy on its face, making it look exactly like Yuan Li. Whoosh. Yuan Li blood body flies into the sky and lands above the Byuk clan's estate. Soon after, feeling the commotion of the nether crossing ship in the presence of Yuan Li, Byuk Cheongi and the elders of the Byuk clan hurry out. Lo Lord Bloodwood, what brings you here? Byuk Cheongi quickly sets up a soundproof barrier around us and asks. I speak, through the blood body's mouth. Bring all the spirit stones of your clan here. Yes, yes, did you not hear me? I command you to bring all the spirit stones of your clan. But, how? Enough talk. Whoosh. Through the blood body, I sense the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in the heads of Byuk Cheongi and clan elders. So he's been operating in secret for hundreds of years, embedding them all in their heads. ZZZT. Quote exclamation mark quote. Agog. Perhaps due to extracting only about 1/20th of the power of the 5 elements blood curse banners. The core formation cultivators of the Byuk clan are in agonizing pain, but they somehow manage to endure. Too much talk. This is for a greater plan, so stop complaining and bring all the spirit stones. Alright. Soon after, under Byuk Cheongi's command, the cultivators of the Byuk clan bring millions of spirit stones and place them in front of the blood body. These are all the spirit stones in our main house. There are about 10% as many stones scattered across our territories, but it will take too long to gather them. That's enough. This will do. And one more thing, I speak through the blood body. You mentioned discovering relics of the Zhou clan and researching them, right? Yes. Bring all relics of the Zhou clan, especially those related to the devilish path that sacrifices human lives, whether they are cultivators or mortals, as well as poisonous manuals or techniques, here. It's better not to replicate them recklessly. Yes. As I menacingly move the 5 elements blood curse banners, Byuk Cheongi replies with trembling lips. Soon, they bring the requested items to the blood body. Whoosh. I open the blood body's storage device and receive everything, loading the spirit stones onto the nether crossing ship. That's enough. Stay quiet for now. I will contact you again. Understood. Please take care, Lord Bloodwood. The core formation cultivators of the Byuk clan bow to the blood body, and I control it to board the nether crossing ship, asking Song Jin to take me to the Cheongmin clan. This should make up for the betrayal in the past life. Thinking of the moment when Byuk Cheongi chose to throw the heaven-sealing talisman instead of the heaven-striking talisman to kill Yuan Li. Frankly, it was infuriating. But, be grateful for having a son like Byuk Moonseong. I decided to let the Byuk clan off this lightly because of Byuk Moonseong's presence. They're not a completely depraved devilish clan like the Mokli clan, after all. And since I have also recovered all the devilish arts and refining methods discovered in the Zhou clan's ruins, they wouldn't develop like the Mokli clan. Kugugugu. As I am sorting through these thoughts, the nether crossing ship already arrives at the Cheongmin clan. I once again move Yuan Li's blood body and reveal myself to the Cheongmin clan. Kugugugu. Behind Yuan Li, I unleash the aura of treading heaven beyond the path, pressing down on the Cheongmin clan. Soon after, Cheongmin Jung-jin, the head of the Cheongmin clan, and the clan's elders appear. Are you a nascent soul senior? Yes. What graces us with your presence to the Cheongmin clan? Cheonmin Jung-jin asks with a serious expression, looking at the blood body. I move the blood body's mouth to speak. I have noticed someone of interest. A cultivator named Cheonmin Ryong from the Cheonmin clan is quite knowledgeable in the way of understanding before breakthrough. He is known as one of the 3 great experts in chi building, and his fame is widespread. I have read his books and I am impressed. He truly is a master of understanding before breakthrough knowledge. Therefore, I have come to support him and his clan, the Cheonmin clan. Kugugugugu. I unload the several million spirit stones from the Byuk clan in front of the Cheonmin clan's courtyard. Cheonmin Yoongjin's eyes widened in shock at the sudden influx of enough spirit stones for the entire clan. Thank you. And, I continue, I will ask the owner of this nether crossing ship, Senior Song Jin of Black Ghost Valley, to make an arrangement. From now on, if you provide spirit stones, you will be granted the right to ride this nether crossing ship. Take the cultivators of the Cheonmin clan who mainly practice wood attribute methods to the serving command palace frequently to accumulate spiritual power. I pass on my insights of wood attribute methods and a scroll that can break through the prohibitions of serving command palace. Hearing my words through the blood body, Cheonmin Jung-jin, the core formation elders, and even the chi building elders of the Cheonmin clan who had come out to listen to our conversation bow deeply to me. Thank you, Sini. Enough, I shout, cutting off the council of elders. Especially Cheonmin Ryong, who was slowly bowing his head. As expected, this is why I had the blood body deliver it instead of myself. If I had to hear, senior, and receive thanks from Cheonmin Ryong, it would be too painful. But still, hearing it through the blood body is heart-wrenching. That's enough. No need for thanks. It's an order. Now, take care. Do your best to support Cheonmin Ryong, so he can reach the core formation stage. After quickly conveying my wishes, I board the nether crossing ship and ask Song Jin to take me to Shaanxi. Whoosh! The ghostly mist envelops the nether crossing ship once more, and we sail through space. Huh! Cheonmin Jung-jin chuckles, looking at the pile of spirit stones before him and Cheonmin Ryong, who looks bewildered. He approaches Cheonmin Ryong and pats his shoulder. Ryong, your efforts have not been in vain. These gifts from the respected senior are because they were impressed by your writings and theories. Is that so? Stand tall, Ryong. Everyone listen up. The spirit stones that have been gifted are under Ryong's name. 1/3 of them will be used for Ryong. Any objections? The elders and late-stage chi refining cultivators of the Cheonmin clan answer loudly. None. Cheonmin Jung-jin laughs heartily. First, organize these spirit stones. And Ryong, I'll help you as best as I can, so let's focus on advancing to the core formation stage from today onwards. That senior hopes for your advancement to core formation and gave us so many gifts. We can't disappoint him. Cheonmin Ryong, after a moment of silence, speaks with a trembling voice. Thank you. Kugugugu. The nether crossing ship arrives above the Jinlu clan in Shaanxi. The Jinlu clan is the last of the traitor clans of the Western Three Kingdoms. I have crushed the Mokli clan and extracted spirit stones from the Byuk clan. But what about the Jinlu clan? The Byuk clan was spared to some extent because of Byuk Moon Seong, despite my resentment against them. The Mokli clan was destroyed not only due to my resentment but also because of their usual cruel deeds. But the Jinlu clan, there is neither the usual resentment nor the cruel actions. At the same time, there are no good memories like with Byuk Moon Seong. So then, after some contemplation, I descend upon the Jinlu clan with Yuan Li's blood body. Shortly after, Jinlu Yi and Cheon, the head of the Jinlu clan, and core formation elders appear. Oh my, what brings Lord Bloodwood to this far western end? Jinlu, Yi and Cheon approaches the blood puppet with a captivating voice. I activate the blood curse banners embedded in her and the other elders through the blood body. ZZZT. Ugh. Ag. In an instant, their entire core formation force is incapacitated. From now on, I speak through the blood body's mouth. I will inform you of the forces in the northern grasslands and the eastern states with the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in them. Go around the north and east, and collect 2 million spirit stones, or equivalent value, from each of them. Whoosh. I summon a blood curse banner through the blood body's hand. Whoosh. The blood curse banner becomes a red flag tattoo that lands on Jinlu Yi and Cheon's hand. Using this, you can activate the 5 elements blood curse banners embedded in individuals 3 times. Find them, collect the spirit stones under my name, and deliver all of them to the Cheonmin clan under my name. To the Cheonmin clan, you say, yes, and this is for when everything is over. Open it after you've completed your task. Inside the letter are instructions for your next steps. If you open this letter before completing the task, a curse written in the letter will activate, alerting me, so do not open it recklessly. Quote. Yes, I will heed your command. I hand her the letter with the curse attached. Jinlu Yi Qian carefully places the letter in her storage artifact. Carry out my command. Inside the letter. Once everything is over, dedicate everything of the Jinlu clan to the Qianmen clan and become a subordinate force to them. That is the command I wrote. It's also a punishment for the Jinlu clan. She will probably like it. A command that would make Jinlu Yi and Qian happy. A command that would make everyone happy. And now, the last part. I fly to a village with the nether crossing ship. It's a familiar village. A village that suffered from the tyranny of a centipede demon. This time, I land in the village with my actual body. The villagers are wide-eyed seeing me descend from the sky. I ask the village head. Beyond that peak, there lives a centipede demon, correct? Yes, that demon has been taking our young men and women. I'll take care of it. In return, do me a favor. What is the favor? In this village, using internal energy, I sketch the face of a child to whom I read the book of fairy tales in my past life. Is there a child who looks like this? Oh, that would be the bookshop owner's daughter. Yes, she's here. I have a request for her. Please guide me to her. I followed the village head's guidance to find the child. That book, it certainly wasn't ordinary. There must be some hidden secret in it. In my previous life, consumed with anger, I hadn't thought to delve further into its secrets. But in this life, it seems worth investigating. The owner of the village bookshop is an elderly scholar, and the child, known as his daughter, is playing with dolls nearby. I approach them and ask, "Do you, by chance, have a book of fairy tales?" The scholar's response makes me jolt. Quote. A book of fairy tales? We don't deal with such childish books here. Quote. What? I explain the contents of the fairy tales, asking if they have a book of such stories. Upon hearing my description, the scholar, looking annoyed, goes inside and rummages through his books for a while. There's nothing like that here. And stories about the Ender. I have lived and studied in this region for 20 years but have never heard of such traditional fairy tales. Although I often read books with similar tales and sayings to children, I have never come across a book mentioning a supreme deity or the Ender. Translator notes. It feels like Xiao Unyun is resolving his karmic ties. Though hell probably speedrun this every cycle in the future, it does remind me of the Immortal Among Mortal arcs in other shanja. Chapter 138, Bai Hui 5. Is the fairy tale book I saw really non-existent? I thought it was just a common fairy tale. But it turns out to be a non-existent fairy tale. No, then, why is the book that was definitely here in the previous cycle now gone? This is strange. It's too strange. Why did this happen? My thoughts, chasing each other's tails, soon lead me to the remnants of fate left by the golden deity Yongsu Jin. Yes, certainly those remnants had set up an attraction of fate near Shattered Heaven Peak, and to see those remnants, an unbelievable miracle of chance is needed. Perhaps, that fairy tale is also like that. It too could be a story that can only be seen by being drawn into the attraction of fate set up by Yongsu Jin, or someone else. And to see it, does one need to realize some kind of miraculous chance? There's definitely a possibility, if it's something left behind by a true immortal equivalent like Yongsu Jin. Perhaps that strange content of the fairy tale can only be seen again after passing through an unbelievable miracle of chance. I nod my head as I ponder. I understand. If you ever find such a book, please be sure to tell me. I speak to the little girl playing with dolls beside me. If you see a book with such fairy tales, or if such fairy tales come to your mind, be sure to tell me. It's very important to me. Yes, the girl answers brightly, hugging her 7 dolls. But where is your sister? Sister? What sister? My child is an only daughter. The scholar speaks to me with a slightly uncomfortable expression. What? I feel something strange again. I feel like I've forgotten something. An indescribable sense of unease. Ah, right, that's right. This little girl said in her past life that she was waiting for her parents. Why did I suddenly blurt out the word, sister? Anyway, thank you. After expressing my gratitude, I decide to go ahead and deal with the centipede demon as planned. With a swift movement, I jump over the peak. There, I see the centipede demon's lair. And, clang, clang, clang. I see martial artists swinging their swords in front of the centipede's cave. Ah, those must be the ones. They seem to be the martial art experts hired by the village chief. They are vigorously emitting sword energy, swinging their weapons at the centipede demon. But their sword energy can't even scratch the centipede demon's carapace, and instead, they are vomiting blood from the demon's poison. Die, die, you monster! One martial artist charges at the centipede demon, coughing blood. The centipede demon opens its mouth wide to welcome him, ready to tear off his head. In a flash, instantly, I insert myself between them. Whoosh! My palm's energy gently wraps around the martial artist and safely ejects him outside the cave, while my formless sword strongly pushes back the centipede demon. Boom! The centipede demon is knocked back, vomiting blood. Oh, what in the world? I extend my hand to the martial artist sitting on the ground, vomiting blood. Swish! My formless sword touches their acupoints, seeping into their meridians, and forcibly operates their vital energy chi. And then, bam! Cough, cough, herk! As my formless sword guides their vital energy, the accumulated poison of the centipede demon is expelled through their mouths. I've removed the basic poison, but you should seek a doctor for further treatment. I can't help with the poison that has penetrated too deeply. After saying this, I slowly approach the centipede demon. Kigek, you. I speak to it in demon language. On closer inspection, the centipede demon, while being wary of me, does not flee deeper into the cave. Beneath it, there are grains like rice, smaller than a fingernail and densely packed its eggs. The demon does not flee, emitting poison to protect its eggs. Quote. Seeing this, I momentarily sheathe my formless sword. Leave. If you swear never to eat humans again, I'll let you go. Kiruk. The centipede demon hesitates for a moment, then speaks. My offspring, too, make them like me. How? It expresses despairing intent, stuttering in its speech. How will survive? Lonely. I am. Oh great one, rather, here, now, kill me. The centipede demon speaks with a resigned tone. My flesh and blood, take, remaining offspring, become like me, please, kill. Quote. It's a fierce maternal love. When I am contemplating whether to kill the demon or not. From behind, the martial artist who had rushed at the centipede demon earlier, now coughing blood, runs and kneels before me. Greetings to the revered one. I dare to make a request of you. Quote. What is it? I turn to him and ask. Please, tear that monster to pieces. Kill it as painfully as possible. Since the centipede demon and I converse in demon language, he, unaware of our conversation, cried out with tears in his eyes. It ate my lover. Please kill it, I beg of you. Quote. Hearing this, I turn back to the centipede demon. What am I even hesitating about? Maternal love is certainly noble, but this creature has eaten innocent people. Moreover, the words of the martial artist, whose lover was eaten, caused a throbbing pain in my heart. Quote. Looks like you need to die. Do you have any last words? I raise my hand again, looking at the centipede demon. The centipede demon bows to me, saying, my offspring, not like me, but, like you, a great being, please help them. The centipede demon kept bowing its head, not caring about its own death. Just, offspring, please. Quote. All right, I'll try. I approach the centipede demon and place my hand on its head. Poof. My formless sword passes through its entire body, instantly severing all nerves and turning its brain to mush. It probably didn't feel any pain. Quote. It's done. Thank you so much. As the centipede demon died, the martial artist, shedding tears of gratitude, bowed to me. I then look at the place where the centipede demon had been lying. There lay thousands of centipede eggs, tightly packed. They look like ordinary centipede eggs, rather than those of a demon centipede. Actually, I can't sense any spiritual aura from them. They are just normal eggs that haven't inherited any of the centipede demon's powers. I transfer all the tiny, rice grain-sized eggs into my storage artifact. I'm not sure if it'll work, but I'll give it a try. After looking at the centipede for a moment, I pass by the martial artists expressing their gratitude and return to the village. The centipede has been dealt with. Thank you. Please, accept this as a token of our gratitude, immortal. I look at what the village chief is offering me. It's a clean white Taoist robe. The garment worn during the twin immortals' dance in this village. Quote. I'll accept it gratefully. I take the white Taoist robe from him and change into it. Clad in it, I am reminded of my past life. Single quote. It's nice. I savor the memory for a moment. It's the best gift. Thank you. With that, I leap back onto the nether crossing ship. Now for the last request, Senior. Why have you been traveling so much? Alright, where's the next destination? I tell him. Serving Command Palace. The ship roars as it sails towards Serving Command Palace. I penetrate the golden prohibition of the palace's outer walls and enter within. Still the same. Inside, I search around and acquire the necessary items. Various immortal wines, especially the white red wine. And then, now that I think about it, this is. I find the pipe artifact. A long, slender, bamboo pipe. Isn't this a magic artifact that imbues ordinary beasts with spiritual enlightenment? I carefully read the description of the artifact. Magic artifact. Demon immortal bamboo. After lighting and inhaling, if you expose a beast to its spiritual energy, the beast has a 1 in 10,000 chance of gaining spiritual enlightenment. If used on one beast, it should not be used again on the same creature for at least 5 years due to its potent nature, as it may lead to death. For demon beasts, even those in the chi building stage, exposing them more than twice a month can be lethal, and for core formation stage demon beasts, once every 7 days is the limit, while nascent soul stage demon beasts can be exposed daily. Quote. The thought of using it on the centipede demon's offspring seems foolish. It's not even some kind of radioactive waste. At this level, it seems less like an artifact for nurturing demon beasts and more like a method of killing them with toxic smoke. Despite my disbelief, I put the bamboo pipe in my storage device, just in case. I continue searching and find another useful item. 2 heaven sealing talismans. These talismans are said to provide heavenly being stage defense. Thanks to this talisman, I glance subtly at Yuan Li's blood body. That moment of immense despair caused by this guy came to my mind. I should keep it for now. I also put the heaven striking talisman into the storage artifact. After doing so, there's nothing left to get from Serving Command Palace. Then now, shall I try to obtain the Serving Command seal? Kugugu. I take out the red formation flags given by Yuan Li from my storage artifact. Kuwang. As the blood body forms a seal, the magic artifacts emit light, attracting the power flowing inside the Serving Command Palace. And then, Kugugu. The magic artifacts internally collide the powers of Serving Command Palace, starting to break down the floors of the palace one by one. I deflect all the debris falling from the top of the longevity tree. Kuwuwuwu. After a while, all the layers of Serving Command Palace have collapsed, and light begins to flash in the sky. Pot. The Serving Command seal. As I look at the seal, Song Jin and Seo Ran enter the inside of Serving Command Palace. Song Jin's eyes shine as he looks at the seal. The Serving Command seal. It's been a while. He asks me, why do you want to obtain the Serving Command seal? Are you trying to ascend in the traditional way like that Yuan Li guy? Ah, isn't there a saying that the Serving Command seal attracts heavenly fate? I ask, holding the Serving Command seal. Heavenly fate. Heavenly fate is indeed good. But if you receive the blessing of the Serving Command seal, don't carry it around in your pocket when ascending. The holder of the Serving Command seal is drawn by the Serving Command seal connected to this world and fate's attraction, making ascension difficult. Eventually, you'll have to return to this world. Haha, I grin. That is exactly it. Investigate the Ascension Gate, keeping the Serving Command seal with me. In that case, even if I get caught in a spatial storm, I would eventually return to this world, right? My goal is not Ascension but to investigate Ascension Gate. While I am looking at the Serving Command seal, pot, light bursts from the Serving Command seal, scattering brilliance around me. Somehow, I feel lighter. The blessing of the Serving Command seal. Usually, you have to touch it to receive the blessing. Seems you are born with a strong fate. Really, didn't you know? Serving Command seal responds to fate, reacting more strongly to those born with a strong fate. The same goes for its blessings. The fact that the Serving Command seal bestowed its blessings on you without you touching it means that you are born with an immense fate. Is that so? It's a new fact. My fate. Certainly, it is a bit strong. As soon as I try to step out of the framework of fate, the heavens would throw lightning like crazy. Holding the Serving Command seal, I speak. Anyway, I have a favor to ask you, Senior. What now? I hand Song Jin the structural diagram of a formation and the blueprint of the formation's magic artifacts. If you install these formations and magic artifacts on the first layer of Serving Command Palace and activate them, after 5 years, the longevity fruit will ripen in Serving Command Palace. Please give one to Taoist Seo. Huh, Song Jin looks at me with surprised eyes. You keep giving things. At this rate, my debts will never disappear. Haha, I just need you to do me one favor. I request him. When the longevity fruits ripen, please deliver the fruit to a man named Kim Young-hoon in Yangguo. Why don't you deliver it yourself? I have my reasons. Going to investigate the Ascension Gate, I might die getting caught in a spatial storm. I could become a lost soul in space. Or I could be marked by a great boundary being, observing this place from outside this world and die. Therefore, it's right to ask beforehand. This is my last request. Thank you very much for your help so far. He looks at me for a while. Are you trying to ascend to the upper realm at your current level? Quote. Song Jin seems to realize my intention and asks in surprise. It's too sudden. Why are you moving so hastily? We cultivators have hundreds of years. Of course, the ascension path hasn't closed yet, but there will be another opportunity in 1,000 years. With your talent, you can definitely reach the great perfection of heavenly being and prepare for ascension in about 1,000 years. 1,000 years. I give a bitter smile. Perhaps, even after 1,000 years, I will still remain at this level. Question mark. Song Jin tilts his head, seemingly puzzled. But I know my own talent well. Even after 1,000 years, it would be fortunate if I can barely reach the nascent soul stage with my cultivation methods. Even if my martial skills are several steps ahead someone like Kim Young-hoon. After all, I am not Kim Young-hoon. 1,000 years is too long. Anyway, it's something I have to investigate at least once. Perhaps this life, having not formed many connections, is the most appropriate time to investigate the Ascension Gate. When I handed the Norige to Buk Hyung-hwa, my decision solidified. I won't meet her again in this life, even if I live for 1,000 years. If I do meet her again, I feel I wouldn't be able to restrain myself. Anyway, it's my choice. Please respect it. Well, do as you please. Since my disciple has received much help from you, I will fulfill the tasks you've requested. They're not difficult, anyway. Song Jin crosses his arms and nods. Then, we leave Serving Command Palace and head back towards Ascension Path. Whoosh. A dark, ghostly ship crosses the sky. The Nether crossing ship, emerging from the void, is floating in the sky. When I asked why we didn't use spatial travel through the void, it was because frequent use would strain the Nether crossing ship. By the way, do you know anything about the upper realm, Senior Song Jin? Of course. At least, what that Yuan Li guy mentioned is a well-known fact among the upper echelons of major forces. Song Jin, holding the ship's steering wheel, continues his explanation. Especially factions with a deep history like Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, Black Ghost Valley, Mighty Tiger, Holy Pung, and Sea Dragons. Ancestors who ascended through the Ascension Gate have occasionally contacted us over the long history. May I ask what you know regarding the upper realm? I don't know much in detail. Really, we only get contacted once every few thousand years. But about 4,000 years ago, one of the ancestors from the upper realms who contacted Black Ghost Valley said that the spiritual energy in the upper realms is hundreds of times more abundant than in Ascension Path, and there are no mortals in the upper realm. No mortals. That's right. I also thought it was unbelievable when I first heard it. In the upper realms, due to the immense heaven and earth spiritual energy, babies become chi-gathering cultivators from the moment of conception. They are born as cultivators. Some with a bit more talent are born already at the first or second stage of chi refining. Isn't it unbelievable? I have no words for the ridiculousness of what I just heard. The entire concept of mortals doesn't exist there. How high must the density of spiritual energy be for such a thing to be possible? Song Jin chuckles at my expression. Also, in the upper realms, people reach the chi building stage as early as their early 20s. By their 40s and 50s, everyone reaches that stage. Those over 200 years old are mostly core formation cultivators. From the nascent soul stage, substantial enlightenment is required, so the numbers drop there. Still, isn't it unfair? Some have to grind people down to reach chi building, while others just breathe to reach the same destination. Haha, really, it's unbelievable. I smile bitterly. Such a place would not have clans like the Mockley clan. Moreover, although I don't know in detail, the human race seems to be considered somewhat of a ruling class and enjoys quite a high status. The upper realm quite frankly seems like a paradise. Tisk, this is the extent of the information I can provide. The rest of the more confidential information is subject to restrictions and is classified, so I can't disclose it recklessly. I see. Thank you. Kuwoo. In the distance, I see the barrier covering ascension path. Standing next to Song Jin, I suddenly think of something else and ask. I'm curious. There's a place called the Nether Ghost Realm among the upper realms, and it sounds related to Black Ghost Valley. Is there any connection? It seems obviously related to Black Ghost Valley. Yuan Li said he didn't know about Ancient Force, Nether Ghost, and Purple Gold realms. But maybe Song Jin does. Song Jin strokes his chin and replies. I do know. Before the Ascension Gate appeared, the main upper realm for ascension for Black Ghost Valley was the Nether Ghost Realm. Just out of pure curiosity. Why then does Black Ghost Valley ascend to the Bright Cold Realm connected to the Ascension Gate instead of the Nether Ghost Realm? It's because ascending through the Ascension Gate is much safer and more certain, and also. He ponders for a moment and continues. The information from here onwards is confidential, and I cannot disclose it directly, but, he chuckles. Why do the devilish sects not ascend to the true devil realm but choose the Bright Cold Realm, which is said to be at war with it? Yuan Li spoke of a war, but he only knows outdated information. Perhaps, there's a reason everyone is choosing to ascend to the Bright Cold Realm. Could it be that the war between the true devil realm and the Bright Cold Realm is turning in favor of the Bright Cold? I nod in understanding. Then, I strike the barrier of ascension path with my formless sword. Kuguguang. The formless sword splits the barrier, creating a large entrance for the Nether crossing ship. Kuwuwu. The Nether crossing ship doesn't stop and flies towards the center of ascension path. And then, a familiar scene appears. Kurring, kurururung. Thunderclouds are rolling in. Below the thunderclouds, a bisected steel absorbs heavenly lightning. Beyond the steel, a glowing spatial gate the size of a human torso resides. It's the Ascension Gate, Kugugu. Before the area riddles with spatial rifts, the Nether crossing ship descends. Then, I thank you for everything up to now. Yeah, do well and take care. Senior, must you really ascend now? Haha, don't worry about me, Taoist CEO. Just deliver the longevity fruit to Kim Young-hoon as I requested. Song Jin and CEO ran. Their expressions differ, but both radiate the intent of concern for me. After bidding them farewell, I take out the centipede eggs from my storage artifact. Well, I may not be able to do much, but if they feed on the dense spiritual energy of the ascension path and continue to grow, maybe they'll become demon beasts as their mother wished for. I light the immortal demon bamboo and fan its smoke over the centipede eggs. The probability of becoming a demon beast will increase, albeit very slightly, with the dense spiritual energy of ascension path. Just then, crack, crassasack. Whether it's due to the time, the effect of immortal demon bamboo, or the ascension path's energy, many baby centipedes hatch from their eggs. They scatter throughout the ascension path. Live well, everyone, as I am about to put the bamboo pipe back in the storage artifact. A small baby centipede wriggles up onto my foot. I pick it up and place it elsewhere, but it keeps coming back and clinging to me. What's this? Just when I am wondering. Just let it stay. You have the serving command seal, right? The seal has granted you a fate that suits you. It's an affinity brought by fate, so it might be more beneficial to keep it with you. I see. After looking at the centipede for a moment, I pick it up and place it on my shoulder. I'm about to leave this world. Is that all right with you? The baby centipede doesn't respond. After staring at it for a while, I bid farewell to Song Jin and CEO Ran. Then, I head towards the Ascension Gate. Well, then, Kugugu. About 15 days after my return, I approach the Ascension Gate that's about to close, with Yuan Li's blood body in front. Shall we investigate the Ascension Gate? As I approach the gate, I take out the 2 heaven sealing talisman, activate one, and apply it to the blood body. Alright, now, let's see. Just then, fizz, fizz. Suddenly, the steel above starts to spark intensely with lightning. What's this? Then, without warning, flash, kurururung, a sudden bolt of lightning strikes me. Kugugu. Though not a heavenly rejection level lightning, it was still immensely powerful. Had I not enveloped my whole body in the formless sword, I would have been roasted on the spot. As I grit my teeth against the lightning, fwa, a familiar figure appears before my eyes. A shadow engulfed in blood-red lightning, weeping blood. Yang Su-jin. I tremble, recalling the shadow I had seen at Shattered Heaven Peak. Then, the remnant of Yang Su-jin speaks. Ender, seeing this remnant means that you have heard my true words left at Shattered Heaven Peak. I once speak at length. If you are contemplating ascending to the upper realms, do not hesitate and quickly leave this grotesque world. This world is especially threatening to enders. There's nothing good for you by staying in this world any longer. Hurry and depart from within this hideous head. Fwa! The lightning ceases, and at the same time, my eyes widen in shock. Creak! The ascension gate created by Yongsu Jin, like a living entity, opens its maw wide and lunges towards me. Woo woo woo! The serving command seal inside me howls madly, but then, thud! It's forcefully ejected from my embrace by some strong repulsive force. What? And at that moment, qua! I am swallowed by the ascension gate. What on earth? Seo Ran yells as he watches, and Song Jin's ghostly fire burns with panic. FSSSH. The ascension gate, having devoured Seo Eun-yun, immediately closes shut. I've never seen such a phenomenon before. Normally, the ascension gate would open once, gradually shrink over several days, and finally disappear in a state as small as dust. The kind of phenomenon, where it devours a person like a living entity and closes abruptly, is unheard of. Thump, thud, thud. The serving command seal, repelled from Seo Eun-yun's embrace, rolls towards them. Swoosh. The ownerless serving command seal lays in front of them for a moment and then is swept away into another spatial rift nearby. The serving command seal, with its inherent attraction of fate, is fated to return to the serving command palace. And in the Liberation Palace, it will wait to be freed, endlessly wandering the void. Song Jin and Seo Ran, having witnessed Seo Eun-yun's sudden devouring by the Ascension Gate, stand in silence, lost in their thoughts. Translator notes. I got chills. Chapter 139, Ascension. Kugugu. Numerous sounds and rays of light brush past me. I grit my teeth, focusing on the formless sword throughout my body. My whole body feels like it's about to be crushed. Had it not been for the formless sword enveloping my body due to my attainments in treading heaven, my body would have instantly been crushed without a moment's notice. The heaven-sealing talisman. Gritting my teeth hard enough for my gums to bleed, I talk out the heaven-sealing talisman. Heaven-sealing talisman, activate. Kugugu. An immense force gathers in the talisman, and the power of the heaven-sealing talisman envelops my body. Heaven and earth spiritual energy even exists in spatial passageways. The heaven and earth spiritual energy wraps around my body, creating a dense barrier that prevents even a single strand of energy from leaking out. Cough. Huck. I spit blood, barely regaining consciousness. Damn it, what a mess this is. Inside the spatial passageway of the Ascension Gate, I am being pulled upwards towards some above. Keying. The blessing of the serving command seal within me is pulling me far away. Upon entering the Ascension Gate, the serving command seal's blessing became a definite force, pulling me along, and I realized that this force is terrifyingly abnormal. Kugugu. Soon, I'll probably reach the upper realm. But, I grit my teeth, watching the barrier of the heaven-sealing talisman trembling madly all over my body. The heaven-sealing talisman seems to be losing its effect faster than I thought. There's a possibility it might break before I reach the upper realm. I clench my teeth, thinking of the serving command seal. Originally, even if I entered the Ascension Gate, I planned to return to that world with the power of the serving command seal. I didn't expect that the serving command seal itself would be repelled by some strange repulsive force. There's no other choice, I have to endure as much as I can. Kugugu. I frown, watching the heaven-sealing talisman about to collapse any moment. This won't do. Then, I look at Yuan Li blood body, ascending alongside me. I recall one method of using the blood body, a technique passed down by Yuan Li. I form a seal together with the blood body. Blood body skin armor. Open. At the same time, the blood body opens wide. Swoosh. Its internal organs, muscles, and inner body are all exposed. And then, from within, all the organs and muscles turn into blood, and a space large enough for one person to squeeze in is seen forming. As I form a seal, the blood body flies towards me and envelops me. The blood body covers my whole body, and soon seeps through every part of it. Kugugugu. As the blood body seeps through my muscle fibers, my entire body is further strengthened. The strength and regenerative ability of my physical body increases tremendously, and in an instant, I can feel that I am able to use all the techniques that the blood body can use. But what's most important is, Wo Wang, the energy of the heaven-sealing talisman that had been residing in the blood body now merges with my heaven-sealing talisman, significantly extending the duration of the talisman's effect. Pa-ah-ah-at. The barrier of the heaven-sealing talisman, which seemed about to collapse at any moment, has now become more robust, and I can finally take a breath. Good. I don't know when I'll reach the upper realm, but at least I can hold out for a while. Now that I have some leeway for survival, I look around. Numerous beams of light and sound are brushing past me. Honestly, it's hard to discern what is what. Inside the Ascension Gate, perhaps there's a reason why we fell into this world here. I look around inside the Ascension Gate. The spatial passage leading to the upper realm. P-E-E-E-E-E-T. Among the numerous beams of light, occasionally, stars that look like the universe reveal themselves. I catch glimpses of what seems to be countless spaces and dimensions, and then, down below, I faintly make out the form of the world I came from. That world is like ... Huh, I see it, and it sees me. Our eyes meet. It's a gigantic jade. Heok, what was that? What just happened? P-E-E-E-T. I realize I am still ascending to the upper realm. Numerous beams of light are still passing by around me. And from the scenes occasionally visible between the beams of light, I realize I have ascended quite a bit. Just now, my consciousness cut off for a moment. I hold my throbbing head. Why did I lose consciousness? Was it because of the spatial pressure? Even though there's the heaven-sealing talisman, considerable pressure is still being transmitted through. Of course, it's bearable, but there are times when the pressure intensifies suddenly, so it's possible that I lost consciousness due to the severe pressure at that moment. But right before losing consciousness, it seemed like I saw something. I hold my throbbing temples and try to gather my thoughts. Damn it, my head isn't working right. Fortunately, things are stabilizing. But the throbbing headache doesn't easily subside. And also, Goo. It seems quite some time has passed since I lost consciousness, as the heaven-sealing talisman is already showing signs of collapsing. Damn, what do I do if the heaven-sealing talisman collapses? The pressure increased even more than before. The heaven and earth spiritual energy in the spatial passage becomes denser, but at the same time, the resistance beating against the heaven-sealing talisman becomes stronger. If this continues, once the effect of the talisman wears off, I will be crushed into a lump of flesh. I can't let that happen. While being pulled above, I take a stance. I will divert the pressure. I begin performing a sword dance towards the pressing force bearing down on me. Kim Young-hoon had certainly performed foolish old man moves mountains by himself. A self-destructive technique that usually requires an opponent. The fact that he performed foolish old man moves mountains towards empty space meant that it means that the world itself can become the subject of martial arts. Cutting through the void itself, exchanging and merging with that emptiness, I enter the state of foolish old man moves mountains. Of course, I have no intention of performing foolish old man moves mountains to completion. But if it's just endless mountains beyond mountains. Shong. I swing my formless sword towards the void. What nascent soul cultivators call planes. I feel my sword brushing against the boundaries of dimensions. Woom. Beyond the dimension, I feel my sword colliding with the vital force chi that makes up the world itself. Cut it. I slice through the vital force, and with that as a starting point, I perform a sword dance towards the immense pressure that is assaulting me. Whiz. Crack. My sword dance cuts through the spatial pressure. At the same time, the pressure on the heaven-sealing talisman decreases. I can't perform foolish old man moves mountains. But I can still pour out every move from the beginning to the end without getting tired. Horizontal slash, lower 3 cuts, upward slash, stab, change moves, offense and defense as one. Countless moves burst out almost simultaneously, forming a single shape. Severing mountain. Whoosh. The pressure above is split. Crack. Despite this, an endless amount of pressure continues to squeeze me, and the heaven-sealing talisman is gradually losing its power. And then, at some moment, bang, crash. Finally, the heaven-sealing talisman exhausts its power. Faster, stronger, I resist the pressure squeezing my whole body and slice through the spatial pressure more quickly with the formless sword. But the pressure continues to gradually increase. Crack. Despite cutting through, the residual pressure alone feels enough to crush my entire body covered in the formless sword. During this wriggle, I spot something wriggling on the other side of the spatial passage, swimming through space. What is that? That bizarre creature, seemingly living in the crevices of space, fortunately has no interest in me, but its momentum is not inferior to a heavenly being. Feeling a chill down my spine, I continue to cut through the pressure. Crack. Even after being infused by the blood body for enhanced durability and regeneration, my whole body feels like it's about to be shattered by the spatial pressure. And then, when blood finally bursts from my 7 orifices. Bang, boom, I vomit blood as I collide with a barrier that suddenly appeared in front of me. Whoosh, naturally, the formless sword cut through the barrier, and thanks to the inertia that had been pulling me along, I am finally able to enter above by piercing through the barrier. Bang, puke, cough, gasp, I spit out a mouthful of blood. And then, I feel the ground beneath my hands. That terrible spatial pressure is no longer felt. A stable, and much denser heaven and earth spiritual energy than what I felt in the previous world. Tens of times more spiritual energy than ascension path. Compared to typical areas in the previous world, it's hundreds of times more. Huff huff, I look around. This place. Upper realm. As I look around. Boom, what's this now? A giant in green armor appears before me. Interestingly, he's not made of flesh and blood like humans or demi-humans, but of wood and earth. And the pressure emanating from him. Quack, key, I can't breathe. 4-axis. His pressure is outrageously beyond that of a heavenly being. Him just standing in my domain of consciousness makes me feel like my head is going to split open. I quickly abandon the thought of observing him and withdraw my consciousness. I try to look at him but quickly lower my gaze to his shadow. Looking directly at him somehow made my eyes sore. An entity those below heavenly being can't even look directly at. A cultivator of the 4-axis stage. Breaking through the thin spatial barrier, and yet the aura is only at most the level of chi building. How suspicious. Has some strange creature from the void masqueraded as a human and infiltrated? Kugugu. The 4-axis cultivator raises his hand. This is the same momentum I felt from her palm. I'm going to burst and die. My pupils shrink with tension and fear. I try to speak as I vomit blood. Just then, wait a minute, a familiar voice rings in my ears. The 4-axis cultivator looks in one direction. I also look towards where the voice came from. There stood a familiar figure in blue armor, arms crossed. Cheonman Sunwoo. It's a face I know. He's not a strange life form from the void. Whoosh. The momentum that formed in the hands of the 4-axis cultivator dissipates. Only then do I take a look around. Behind Azure Tiger Saint, there are several heavenly being cultivators who exude similar auras and nascent soul cultivators. And behind them, numerous burly figures with unusually powerful auras are positioned. Further back, Chief Oh Yunsok is staring at me, eyes wide open. On both sides of Azure Tiger Saint, stand a middle-aged man in golden robes and a gender-neutral figure in black devilish robes. Pijit Pijijijit. The man in golden robes, the master of Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, Jin Bayak Ho. Behind him are several heavenly being cultivators emitting lightning energy, and a significant number of nascent soul cultivators. And many disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect are also visible. Kya, Giya, and the figure in black devilish robes, the Grand Elder of Black Ghost Valley, White Bone Ghost Devil Heo Gwak. Behind them, 2 nether crossing ships float in the air, and eerie valley sounds echo around. Furthermore, ho, this is an unexpected visit. A handsome young man with blue hair, wearing blue robes, and antler-like horns on his forehead. Seo Wayol smiles gently as he looks at me. Behind Seo Wayol, several giant sea dragons exuding the energy of heavenly beings reveal themselves, with dozens of smaller sea dragons positioned behind them. Kings of the mighty Tiger and Holy Pung tribes are also present beside Seo Wayol, along with their tribe members. And then, what an odd situation. How did this kid get here? Mad Lord Zhou Yian. He stands a little apart from the other forces, hands behind his back, watching me and stroking his chin. Beside him, team leader Kim Yian is inexplicably lying on the ground, foaming at the mouth and unconscious. It doesn't look like the actions of the Mad Lord. Rather, the shock of withstanding the spatial pressure, even with his protection, seemed too significant. Everyone I had met on Ascension Path is gathered here. Then, the 4-axis entity speaks. Explain. You say you know this kid? Yes. That guy is definitely someone I saw before passing through the Ascension Gate when I was in the lower realm. We 3 met and even tested him. He's definitely a human, not a strange life form. Then how could this human of apparently chi-building stage ascend to the bright cold realm on his own? At the wooden man's words, Azure Tiger Saint coughs, seemingly unable to guess. Then, Seo Wayol steps forward with a kind smile. Perhaps, he too possesses some unique quality. Before our ascension through the Ascension Gate we encountered a group of humans, and we confirmed that some of them had interesting qualities. So, before ascension, Those thought to lack such qualities were abandoned and each force took one of the talented for themselves, but it turns out, they all have unique talents. To think that he followed us and ascended on his own, it makes me a bit curious about what kind of talent the remaining human has. At Sia Whale's explanation, the wooden man in green armor asks curiously. Unique qualities? What kind of unique qualities? Haha. At that, Sia Whale grins and exchanges glances with the other three heavenly beings, even the Mad Lord. Mad Lord snorts but crosses his arms, keeping silent. Just unique qualities. But no matter how unique, they can't compare to the distinguished bloodlines and methods practiced by those in the bright cold realm, right? The three heavenly beings also laugh and nod. Well, they're a bit unique, but really nothing special. Just talents that perfectly fit each sect's methods. The green-armored wooden man's eyes light up. It seems you're hiding something. Speak plainly. You've just ascended to the bright cold realm, why so secretive? Rumble. The wooden man's aura envelops the area. I struggle to breathe, falling to the ground and clutching my heart. Actually, it felt like my heart would stop any moment, and I had to forcibly keep it beating with my formless sword. Heavenly beings, how are they? Just then, suddenly, the eyes of the heavenly being cultivators, initially subdued by the wooden man's aura, shined. And then, Sia Whale, hands behind his back, started walking towards us. This guy, then, quote exclamation mark question mark quote. My eyes widened. Coo-goo-goo-goo. Sia Whale's aura is rising. And the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy, hundreds of times denser than before, began to be absorbed by Sia Whale. Crack. Sia Whale's aura began to push back the green-armored wooden man's aura. With each step he took, his aura grew stronger. Quote. I must say something to the bright cold realm senior, lest there be any misunderstandings. What? Thud, thud, thud. Not only Sia Whale, but also Jin Baek Ho, Heo Gwak, and Cheonmin Sunwoo approached. Absorbing the dense spiritual energy of the bright cold realm, their auras intensified even more. We are not like those who fled to the upper realms merely to extend their lives. Rather, we had already reached the peak of heavenly being and gained enlightenment towards the four-axis but had to ascend due to a lack of resources to elevate our cultivation. Rumble. Buzz, buzz. Suddenly, it became difficult to even look directly at Sia Whale. I felt the same towards the other three heavenly beings. Boom. The next moment, a brilliant light burst from Sia Whale, Jin Baek Ho, Heo Gwak, and Cheonmin Sunwoo, and their auras changed. Simultaneously, whoosh, the green-armored wooden man's aura was completely neutralized, and I finally found it easier to breathe. Even if you find the juniors from the lower realms somewhat lacking, we have worked hard in our own right and would appreciate a little respect. With the end of Sia Whale's words, I once again look at them, or rather, their shadows. In the blink of an eye, after absorbing the spiritual energy of the upper realm, they have become four-axis cultivators. The green-armored wooden man is suddenly surrounded by four-axis cultivators. What is this? How can you elevate your cultivation without undergoing heavenly tribulation? Haha. Before ascending, Sect Master Jin of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect used the sect's divine treasure to disperse the four-axis heavenly tribulation in advance. We reached the four-axis immediately, having already faced the tribulation beforehand, so it does not strike us now. Azure Tiger Saint laughs heartily and pats the shoulder of the green-armored wooden man. As they begin to pressure him. Rumble. In the sky, a massive aura stirs, and several more four-axis cultivators begin to descend. These ascenders are, all quite special, enduring added spatial pressure and ascending with their sects. They are monsters from the start. To possess such talent to reach four-axis immediately upon arrival. They look at Jin Baek Ho, Heo Gwak, Cheonmin Sunwoo, and Sia Whale in awe. At the same time, Coo-goo-goo-goo-goo, from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, Black Ghost Valley, Azure Heaven Creation Sect, Mighty Tiger, Holy Pung, Sea Dragon, and others. Many heavenly being and nascent soul cultivators began to elevate their cultivation by absorbing the dense spiritual energy. Rumble. They too seem to have received help from the divine treasure of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. None of them particularly caused heavenly tribulation. Of course, none reached four-axis immediately like the first four. Rumble. And there, quietly beside them, Mad Lord Zhou Yian seems to have broken through some stagnant bottleneck but has not reached four-axis. He appears to have reached the peak of heavenly being, but likely Given his personality, he probably didn't accept help from the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect and didn't face the tribulation in advance, so he couldn't immediately overcome the Ascension tribulation and reach 4-axis. As I survey the chaotic surroundings. Anyway, lower your auras, juniors. No matter how impressive your generation is, there are integration stage grand cultivators nearby in this flying immortal platform, so be careful. Seeing sects like Black Ghost Valley and Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, it seems you've ascended from the head realm. I'll guide your group to the human territory. And you, demon beasts. Coo-goo-goo-goo-goo. Before the cultivators could finish speaking. Far away, thunder and lightning struck, and dark clouds gathered in the sky. Soon after, the entity bringing the dark clouds descended. Coo-goo-goo-goo-goo. It's a gigantic dragon, larger even than Seo Whale's original form. This 4-axis dragon from the Earth Tribe's True Dragon Alliance landed among the Sea Dragon tribe. I am Elder Gu Ryan of the Earth Tribe's True Dragon Alliance. This generation's head realm ascenders are indeed something. To have reached 4-axis already. You demon beasts, follow me to the demon territory. Haha, we've heard of your fame even in the lower realm, Elder Gu Ryan. We appreciate your guidance. Seo Whale greets Gu Ryan with a gentle smile, and Gu Ryan, seemingly a bit embarrassed upon seeing Seo Whale's face, snorts. Anyway, let's get going. I don't want to be around these folks for too long. Gu Ryan declares, glancing briefly at the green-armored wooden man and the other human 4-axis cultivators. Then, turning to me, Seo Whale says, "Ah, please just wait a moment. There's a matter regarding this junior that needs to be addressed." With a gentle face, he extends his hand to me as I lay on the ground. Haha, this really getting caught between a dragon's fight always hurts the ant's back. I apologize for any distress. I don't know what unique talent you have, but it must have been difficult ascending all the way here, wasn't it? Quote. Thank you for your concern. I reply, getting up on my own without taking his hand. By the way, kid, just what kind of method did you use to follow us? Azure Tiger Saint asks, passing by the green-armored wooden man to approach me. Indeed, we left several days before him, and yet he managed to catch up just as we ascended. That's right, now that I think about it. Under normal circumstances, I shouldn't have been able to converse with them here. They had ascended days before me, and it's odd that I, who left much later, arrived in the upper realm at the same time. Mad Lord Zhou Yian, who has been quiet, speaks with a chuckle. Seems like he has a special connection or fate with the upper realm. Even just considering the blessing of the serving command seal, those with stronger fates can reach the upper realm much faster, can't they? While it took us several days to barely ascend, this guy, with his extraordinary fate, might have managed it in just half a day. Kekeki, because of the serving command seal. It seems that while they struggled for days to ascend through spatial pressure, I had ascended instantly thanks to the seal's blessing. Suddenly, the ground beneath me lights up and is covered by a strange barrier. It's called the Flying Immortal Platform. All cultivators ascending from the lower realms arrive here. Now that there are no more ascendants, the platform is closing, and the barrier we broke through is being restored. Seo Whale explains while walking. The platform, now covered in a barrier, makes the surrounding space feel more stable. Seo Whale asks me, "So, what will you do?" Quote. He gestures around with a benevolent expression. Your colleagues' talents have already been recognized. By ascending on your own, you've proven your exceptional talent as well. Since everyone has ascended, if you're as talented as they are, I wouldn't mind taking you with me. I'm quite interested in you. Intrigue sparkled in the eyes of everyone around me, including Seo Whale. Make your choice. We'll soon scatter according to the guidance of the Bright Cold Realms seniors. Which faction will you join? Hearing this, I relax my entire body. My formless sword, which has been surrounding me, disperses into the air. Well, let's think about it. Just then, hey, you, the green-armored wooden man and other 4-axis cultivators floating in the air, along with the dragon elder representing the True Dragon Alliance, all show signs of intense anger. What's happening? In my confusion, they react to my formless sword. Looking carefully, isn't this a spy from the Heart Tribe trained in the Heart Path method? I knew something was suspicious. What? Die, you spy. We'll extract your soul and interrogate you after death. Wait Boom. I explode, not even realizing what hit me, and die instantly. Thus, I died right after succeeding in ascension. That is my 13th return. Chapter 140, 13th Cycle's First Day. Blinking, I open my eyes. Damn it, dying right after ascension, what a mess. As I am rubbing my throbbing head, I pause. Wait, something is off. What? I look around. This isn't the familiar forest. This place. Make your choice. We'll soon scatter according to the guidance of the bright cold realm's seniors. Which faction will you join? What? Staring at Seowaol in front of me, my eyes widen as I survey my surroundings. This is atop the flying immortal platform, where I had just died. Wait, then it became clear. My point of return has been fixed to this place. Look here. I flinch at Seowaol's question. Cautiously observing the wooden man's reactions, I don't scatter my formless sword recklessly, instead concealing my energy within my body as I look around. Now that my point of return has unexpectedly moved itself. Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. Black Ghost Valley. Azure Heaven Creation Sect. The demon tribes heading towards the True Dragon Alliance. And various others like the Righteous and Devil Path Alliances. I have to choose among them. On the first day of my 13th return. Choose. I press my temples, looking around. Who should I choose? I don't even understand the current situation. The sudden fixation of my return point is overwhelming. This fixation means, everything I did during the short time since I started my return, is all permanent. The Norige I gave to Hyunghwa. The relationship between Song Jin and Seo Ran. The longevity fruit I prepared for Kim Young-hoon. The death of Yuan Lee and the disappearance of the Mokli clan. Whether good or bad, my actions are permanent. This means, everything I've done so far. A feeling of indescribable emotion wells up in my chest. It wasn't meaningless. Even though I may not know when I will die, I have always given my best in everything I've done. Even if the lives were meaningless, the results of my actions, to which I've given my all, have now become meaningful as time has become fixed. I reflect on my actions and accomplishments in the lower realm. Really? What a relief. That's what I thought when. Seems like you're deep in thought. Says Seowaol, stroking his chin and slowing his pace. It looks like we need to leave now. Honestly, I'm quite interested in you. It isn't just Seowaol. Other demon tribe leaders, the kings of the Holy Pung and Mighty Tiger tribes, also look interested, implying that I look to be a useful talent. However, the eyes of the dragon behind them show dissatisfaction. What's so important about this leftover trash? It's a long journey from the Central Lands to the Earth Tribe's territory. We must depart quickly. It seems the elder is in a hurry. We should go now. Yes, take care, Sir Dragon King. Dragon King you say. I appreciate the words, but from now on, don't call me King. The real middle boundary demon kings might get angry. He chuckles, patting my shoulder, and turns to join Yu Ryan. I courteously see off Seowaol, having no intention of joining him at the moment. If I had gathered more information through several lives, maybe. Of course, if it wasn't the True Dragon Alliance but the Sea Dragon tribe in the lower realm, I would have refused immediately, now or later. As Seowaol prepares to leave. Since you're a human, come with us. Whichever faction you choose, it won't be hard to settle in. The green-armored wooden man speaks, watching the situation with arms crossed. However, you don't want to choose anyone, do you? Mad Lord Jo Yeon, from a distance, speaks up with his eyes glowing. Kugugugu. He absorbs the spiritual energy of the bright cold realm, having already reached the grand perfection of heavenly being, just a step away from 4-axis, demonstrating a presence akin to it. His not immediate advancement to 4-axis, like the 3 heavenly beings in Seowaol, due to not using the heavenly lightning banner, proved his near 4-axis strength as he spoke to me. If you want choose anyone, come with me. What are you, really? I am so curious I could die. How can a person have such a heart essence? So interesting. I'll take you as my disciple, so follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Let's head to the light spirit pond together. His eyes, brimming with madness, stares at me, and I involuntarily step back. Then, the green-armored wooden man frowns and speaks. I recognize your tremendous talent, but first, as you are a human, you must go to the human territory to receive your identity plaque. Where are you even saying you're planning to go? Both of you, just follow for now. At that moment, Mad Lord Jo Yeon laughs wildly, shaking his head. No, I don't want to. I need to gather materials to complete her. That's why I ascended to the upper realm. I need nothing else. I will find the light spirit pond in the bright cold realm to circulate blood in her body. How dare you, do you not understand? I don't care why you came to the upper realm. First, you need to go to the human territory and... Suddenly, Mad Lord Zhou Yian begins shaking his head violently. Don't want to. Don't want to, don't want to, don't want to, don't want to. Don't order me. I am heading to the Light Spirit Pond right now. I must go there to complete her. Don't stop me. Don't stop me. At Mad Lord Zhou Yian's behavior, Xiao Weil, as well as the three newly ascended four-axis cultivators, begin to look tense. They each protect their factions with a barrier, retreating step by step. I also feel a chill down my spine at his behavior. That person, he always acts like that before doing something crazy. Why running, why running, why running, why running, why running? I'm offering to evolve you into a something greater, you. Recalling that horrific memory, I feel a chill enveloping my body. The green-armored wooden mon's face distorts, angered by Mad Lord Zhou Yian's attitude. Have you ever seen such a madman? In the lower realm, you may have been indulged as a heavenly being, but this is the bright cold realm. How dare this bastard cause a scene here? Rumble. Spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathers in the wooden man's hand. I'll properly teach you a lesson. Come, try acting crazy. I'll get rid of you. And then, snap, Mad Lord Zhou Yian suddenly stops and stares at the wooden man with glittering eyes. Get rid of me. Mad Lord Zhou Yian brings his hands to his mouth. Crunch, crunch, snap. Get rid of me. Get rid, get rid, get rid, get rid, get rid, get rid. No. Ah, she said something. Everyone quiet, quiet. Ah, that's right. Did you hear? She gave me her opinion. Mad Lord Zhou Yian, his eyes filled with insanity, continues talking while chewing his fingers till they bleed. As a celebration of my ascension to the bright cold realm, let's see how effective four-axis materials are. You, lunatic. The wooden man makes his move. Xiao Weil, along with the elder from the True Dragon Alliance, hurriedly flee. The three newly ascended four-axis cultivators protect their factions with barriers. Having not chosen any faction, no one particularly helps me. Then, Mad Lord Zhou Yian clashes with the four-axis cultivator. Flash. Zeezing. Their collision causes the spiritual energy to surge, shaking the nearby space. Kugugugu. Kurj. Damn it. If it wasn't for the blood body skin armor, I would have died. Thanks to the regenerative power of the blood body skin armor, I barely survived. Pinned down by their pressure, I can barely lift my head to watch their battle in the sky. And then, that day, I witnessed the full power of Mad Lord Zhou Yian for the first time. Koog. Mad Lord Zhou Yian opens a box. Whoosh. From inside the box, a massive fortress emerges. The fortress resembles three serving command palaces combined. A cylindrical pillar trio formed a triangle in Mad Lord Zhou Yian's fortress. From atop the fortress, Mad Lord Zhou Yian's voice thunders. Wonderfully mysterious fortress, open your gates. Kugugugugu. The gates of Mad Lord Zhou Yian's fortress opens, and the sky begins to be enveloped. That is. I gape in astonishment, and so do the other four-axis cultivators of the bright cold realm, their eyes wide with shock as they stare at Mad Lord Zhou Yian. Womb. Bee puppets, spider puppets, mantis puppets, animal puppets, human puppets. They all fill the sky. Mad Lord Zhou Yian's voice resounds from beyond them. Chi building puppets, 190 million. Core formation puppets, 165,600. Nascent soul puppets, 4,203. Heavenly being puppets, 63. Four-axis stage, 2. The collective power of two authentic four-axis beings. And the combined strength of all other puppets filling the sky. The total combined power is 4. Four-axis. The power equivalent to 4 four-axis cultivators. My mouth falls open in awe, and I look below at the three heavenly beings, now four-axis cultivators, calmly deploying barriers below. Kugugugugu. Mad Lord Zhou Yian skillfully manipulates his puppets, aggressively pushing against the green-armored wooden man. Other four-axis cultivators, who have been stunned, fly up to help the green-armored wooden man. I look below at the Black Ghost Valley with a stunned expression. Only today do I realize how astonishing and incredible the Black Ghost Valley is. To wage war against such a monstrous entity and survive by sacrificing only a third of their forces is truly a testament to their immense power. Kugwang guang guang. For several moments, the four-axis cultivators dazzlingly engage in battle amidst numerous chi-building puppets. And then, Kwang, the puppets are suddenly blasted away in a circle, creating a gap among the sea of puppets. Through that gap, the wooden man in green armor is seen falling, blood-like liquid flowing from its body. Simultaneously, poof, the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress descends from the sky, capturing the green armored wooden man. And then, the Mad Lord's puppets are instantly sucked back into his fortress, which in turn is drawn back into his box. Pot. Behind the Mad Lord, something brilliantly white is embracing him. Is that her? I am astonished while I look at something. It seems to resemble a human form, but the radiance emanating from her and the eye-watering difficulty in focusing on her makes it hard to observe. Just then, you brat, the Mad Lord, along with her, flies towards me. Pot. No, flies isn't the right word. They simply transcended space and instantly reached in front of me. Quack. Her grasp of the void causes the heaven and earth spiritual energy to seize me up. At the same time, Kim Yeon, who has been foaming at the mouth and unconscious, is also lifted into the air. Let's go. We've got a 4-axis material now. Damn it. Vroom. I draw my formless sword, frantically resisting, but I am unable to move against the strength of her, a 4-axis level being. This is exciting. Hee hee. 2 worthy disciples and 1 4-axis level material, and a successful ascension into the bright cold realm. The day we dance together isn't far off. Ah, Pot. The Mad Lord, with her, flies away, and I, captured by her, am dragged along. Behind me, the distance quickly grows, and I can hear the 4-axis cultivators screaming in rage as if they had gone mad. Coo-goo-goo-goo-goo. Their angry roars cause the earth to shake and tremble like an earthquake. These entities, whose mere existences surpassed natural disasters and became celestial phenomenons. Such 4-axis cultivators were toyed with and are now trembling in rage by a single Mad Lord. Chase that madman, put a bounty on that scum in the entire bright cold realm. You lunatic, the entire heaven tribe will hunt you down. In this chaotic situation, being captured by the Mad Lord, I clench my teeth. Damn it, because I didn't choose a faction in time, I ended up being captured by the Mad Lord. Pot. I, along with the Mad Lord, her, and team leader Kim, swiftly fly to an unknown destination. Translator notes. Oh my god. Kim hung. No, ill miss UTT. In other news, male Kim exits and female Kim enters the fray.